morning. Oh my gosh, it's freezing morning. It is 7-Eleven. It's 7-Eleven, and I'm headed to the grocery store. Food line opens at 7 every day, which is so convenient, especially because I don't go inside and grocery shop on a rare occasion. But when I do, I'm always up at I'm always up at 7 because I've been up since 2. And if I hadn't fallen asleep in the chair, I'm up and I'm ready to just get stuff started. So I'm headed down here. I'll talk about that. I figured I might as well do this here while the car heats up. That's why I'm freezing. But what I wanted to talk about was, I talked to the dietitian, and I'm just not so sure about things. For the past 2 weeks, I've been doing what she said. For the most part, very completely compliant. I have been 95% compliant on my snacking. There was a couple days I found something of David's and I snacked on it. But really, there's nothing left in the house to snack on. There really isn't. Because when I did WW before I switched over to the nutritionist advice, if I had points for it, y'all know I snacked on it. Before I got to where I just didn't feel like doing my what I eat videos, I showed you my food. You saw what I snacked on. I figured, and I still believe it, if you have the points, I say eat it. That's just how I feel. But fast forward to the nutritionist, and she says we got to stop this snacking. So I'm like, okay, we do. I agreed with what she told me to do, and I followed it. I quit the snacking, and when I did snack, it was 9 times out of 10, protein. It was not junk, because like I said, I don't have the junk, and I didn't buy myself the junk. So cheese sticks or boiled eggs, yogurt, cottage cheese with fruit, that kind of thing. So I really didn't hardly eat any fruits. If I did, I ate like a protein with it. So I've gotten the snacking under control. I ain't trying to sound big-headed, but I'm very proud of myself, because that was a hurdle I didn't think I could overcome. Now, she said no snack between breakfast and lunch. I was almost completely didn't do that. On the rare occasion, if I ate my breakfast really early, because without sleeping, when you're up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, that gives you a big long window of eating and hunger. So there are mornings when I'm up, because I sleep 4 hours. That's it. So when I'm up, before I go to eat breakfast at 8, 9 o'clock, I'm starving. And I will not, especially she said eat every 3 to 4 hours. So that kind of knocks out the don't snack. But still, if I got to eat every 3 to 4 hours, which I was doing anyway, because I get real, if I don't. So I would eat something then, between 2 and breakfast. Cheese sticks, yogurt, what I mentioned, those kind of things. Well, between lunch and supper, she said definitely have a snack, because I don't have supper until like 7 at night. So if I eat my lunch, let's say 12 or 1 o'clock, depending on when I ate my breakfast, that's a long time to go without eating. So we go back to the every 3 to 4 hours, right? Okay, so I had no problem complying there. And again, it was my good, healthy snacks. Now we're talking about the rule, not the exception. The good snacks, where it used to be, the good snacks were the exception, not the rule. And now, the past 2 weeks, they have been the rule, not the exception. Alright, so I'm proud of the snacks. I think I've got, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx nothing, because you're still going to have them days. For the rest of my life, if I shrunk down to 100 pounds, which is probably how much my bones weigh, there's no way that I'm ever going to not have what everybody calls a snack snack. It's going to happen. It is called life. Well, send her let's go back to the vegetables. Don't forget about her. I've been complying on my vegetables. Twice a day, practically every single day, twice a day on my meals, I have had my half a plate of vegetables. The only time that I didn't was if I was running late. And even though I had a plan, this week's kind of been, awkward. The way I had a plan, that didn't have a plan, blah. So sometimes I would not have something there at the last minute, but I would still try to scrounge around and find something, because I would forget. I would put on my thing, vegetable soup, taco soup, whatever soup I had in the freezer, that would be my vegetable, and then I'd forget to thaw it out. I'd be hungry. I didn't want to wait on the microwave to thaw out the frozen soup. So that's where I failed to plan my organization part of it, which was the little sheet that I made this past week, which is very helpful, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, okay. Like this morning, I was like, what am I having today? I'm having the chicken thighs. It says set the chicken thighs out in the morning. So I look on there, what am I supposed to do today? Set chicken thighs out in the morning. So 3 o'clock this morning, I had my thighs sitting in the sink, which is a good thing, because we eat earlier on Sunday because he doesn't work. Well, this Sunday he's working, because at his work, you can put yourself on a list if they have an extra run over the weekend. So he is on that, perpetually on that list, unless we're not going to be home, which is never. If something's going on, he stays on that list, because if there's an extra run, that man's going to get it. I want to tell you right now, Trucker's got a motto: if the wheels ain't turning, you ain't making no money. So that man wants his wheels turning. Anyway, so that works out good. I got my chicken thawing. He's going to have to go to work. I don't know what time, but hopefully it's going to get thawed in time for I can feed the man before he leaves. Okay, so that's about that. Well, I told her I would send her my weight on weigh-in every week, because when I left, she goes, now, how do you want to handle this, between us? I said, well, since she didn't have me tracking or writing down or, keeping a record or nothing, I said, well, I will just send you my weight on weigh-in day. She said it sounded good to her. So last week I did it. This week I did it. And she understood the part about stopping getting wrapped. She's like, yes. She goes, I hate you had to do that, but I understand that will cause the weight to fluctuate. So we talked about it on weigh-in. Well, she said, how was I doing on my snacking? Because that was the biggest thing, other than the vegetables, that was the biggest thing we addressed. Stop the snacking. So I told her, because I'm not going to lie, it's like I told her in our appointment. I said, I'm not going to lie to you about what I eat, because you can't help me if I don't tell you. You don't know what to go after to fix, right? So I didn't lie about my snacking. I told her. She says, okay, the rule was no eating 2 hours before bed. And my bed's time is funny, because sometimes my bedtime is when I'm sitting there and I just fall out. And then I'll wake up 4 hours later and that was my bedtime. Some days I'm alert and doing something and active with my brain, to where then I have a window to have a snack before bed. So I told her. The first thing was, there have been days where right before bed, which means not 2 hours, just right before, I would eat a Built Bar, because sometimes I am just so hungry. And I think those days are the days maybe I didn't plan enough protein in my day, or I didn't eat it whether I had to plan it or not. And I think those are the days I'm really hungry at night before I go to bed. Because I told you, I stopped that snacking. And y'all know when David went to work, I was scrounging. I mean, I was looking for stuff. You got points? Woohoo, you better find you a snack. Okay, I stopped that. But I told her, some days I do eat a Built Bar right before I go to bed. So I laid that one out. I said, and then most nights, which probably 4 days a week, I'll say 4 days a week, I have popcorn. Now this is popcorn, and I meant to look this up before I come on here. I meant to look. I'll look after this when I get home, that's for sure. I have one of those glass microwave poppers that you get at Walmart's, the Tasty brand. I think I talked about it here a while back. Oh, I did. When I showed you my movie theater flavored butter spray that I get at Walmart's, that Winona brand. So I was telling you, that's how I make my popcorn. There's no oil whatsoever, just popcorn kernels in that container. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be the serving of maybe 3 tablespoons, because you measure it like in the little lid and dump it in there, and it covers the bottom. So I'll measure it when I get home and I'll find out. So I'll do that, hit it with that good old spray, which I don't think has any calories. I know it doesn't have any points, so I don't even know if it has calories. It's negligible in the scheme of food, because it's not really food. I don't know what it is, but it ain't food. It just tastes good, and it makes your popcorn taste good, and you think you're getting a treat. It's not as decadent as the movies, but it's close enough to where you're like, and my daughter, she always comes in, she's like, oh, that smells so good, because it's not only the popcorn, you can smell it throughout the house. When it hits that popcorn, it releases that smell like at the movies. Okay, so I let her know I do that. Let's reiterate: popcorn, air popped in the microwave, no oil, 0 calorie spray. What does it make? 3 cups? 6 cups? I don't know. 6 cups? So I told her that. She messages me back, and this is where she lost me. We already know I can have dessert twice a week, and I've been having my dessert twice a week. Knowing that I have that to look forward to has helped me not look for it the rest of the week, and that is the truth. The days I have dessert are the days I'm supposed to skip my carbs at supper. Well, that ain't happened on Saturday, because Saturday's my eat out day and Saturday's my dessert day. So I just been that one's just a wash. But my Wednesday, I do it. I skip my starch at supper so I can have whatever my dessert I want Wednesday night. I did it. Fine. She tells me, oh, well, if you're having popcorn, then you need to not eat your starch at supper. I was like, hold up. Just hold up. No way is that amount of puffed air making me fat. It did not make me fat, and it is not going to keep me fat. So that is where I completely disagree with her. I know she's got her degree in nutrition or whatever, but that's where her and I go this way. I was up here with her, and I still am. Now we're going to talk about that, but that's where I got to split off, because that is too extreme. That is not livable. I cannot. Okay, you don't want me to eat 2 hours before bedtime. That's all you told me. You didn't tell me what. Well, I had already made the changes, so what I was eating was not the junk. It was the healthy protein food. So I got over that hurdle, you know, for the most part. There again, there's going to be days, which there hadn't really been that many. So, woohoo. But you never said, if you have popcorn, you can't have your starch at supper. Y'all, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. that is not even common sense to me. So when she told me that is when I said, okay, going back to WW, going back to tracking, keeping track of my points. So that's where it is. Now I'm going to combine the two, because I have done so good with my snacking. I am not going to use points as an excuse to eat that junk food, because if I can lick it, it's taken this 2 weeks time to lick it. I don't want to go back if I'm if I'm over, I'm not over it, but y'all, I'm not talking in extremes here. I think y'all understand that. So I don't want to go back to buying snacks just because I have the points. Now, will I make, like I made those brownies, 2 points for a brownie. I didn't even finish. Can you believe I didn't even finish my brownie? Oh, I am so cold. Y'all, this is terrible. What was I saying? I got brain freeze. I ain't got brain fog. I got the brain freeze, literally. Literally, there's my word, literally. I love that word. So, I'm going to still maintain my vegetables because I think that's a good idea. I'm going to maintain my half a plate of vegetables. I'm not giving that up. I'm going to still forego the carb at supper on dessert day. I'm still going to do 2 desserts a week. No more, having the desserts any more than that. Now, I may have a snack, like if I make a low point muffin or little bread, something like that. I'm going to allow that because those aren't things that I binge on. The things I binge on are little Debbie cakes and Pringles. Those are like the top 2 things that I would keep sitting beside my chair, and then I would just do this number. Just grab it and stuff it. So that quit a long time ago. I don't keep that over there. I'm not going to buy single servings of anything. I'm going to keep up with the protein snacks, but if I do want to fill in with a banana muffin or a pumpkin muffin or something like that, then I'm going to not worry about that. Then I'm going to keep the protein and the starch. I'm going to keep her recommended division of the plate. Half the vegetables, a quarter of the protein, and a quarter of the starch. I'm going to keep that because I think that's a good idea, and I think that is a nice balance. So I'm going to maintain that. Now, the one difference is I'm now going to go back to tracking, weighing, measuring, just like I did before she said don't. Even though I am learning portion control, I'm learning that too. There probably may be some things, like I had said the other day, if it's something really tasty, I might throw another spoonful on there. So I'm going to track and weigh and measure now, so I won't have to worry about the extra spoon unless I take accountability for it in my points. I'm not going to eat points for the sake of eating points. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, which I'm not going to buy the stuff. Knock on wood, whatever I get David, I'm going to stay out of. I go back to, I have been for 2 weeks, and so I don't want to jinx. I hate, y'all know I believe in jinxes. I don't want to jinx that I'm going to regress back to my old ways. So, there you have it. I am doing, I guess you would say, a hybrid, which is really just WW blue. I'm going to stay on blue because I like blue. Blue with more common sense. Does that make sense? Blue with more awareness of what I'm actually eating. Does that mean I'm never going to go off the rails? No. Does that mean I'm a food snob? Ha! Please. Please. Let's don't even go there. Does that mean I'm saying, if you don't eat your vegetables and if you don't do this, you're not doing it right? No. This means I'm learning on my journey to eat better than I used to eat. And that is saying a lot, because I used to eat. You just might as well call me a trash panda. That is how I used to eat. I am a two-legged trash panda. Y'all know what them are. Look it up if you don't. They're too cute. Speaking of, the other day, there was a skunk on the side of the road, just about run out in front of me. Whew. That would have been rough. that was just a side note. He's not a trash panda. Possums are trash pandas. Or raccoons. Now I done told you which one. Raccoons are trash pandas. Possums are just cute. You know, we used to have a possum that would get in our trash can over whenever I lived with my first husband. Well, I lived there too with David after that, because it was, my trailer. And I'd have a possum come in there. And one night I was in there by myself, because that was when I was with David. He worked nights, and that's when I stayed home, with Holly. And I heard a ruckus outside. And if I hear something, I am on that phone, 911. I am on that phone with a quickness, let me tell you. Because when I'm by myself, I got a gun. I ain't gonna lie about it. I got a gun. And I will shoot you if you come at me. Which I knock on wood, I ain't never had to do that. I don't ever want to do that. But if somebody's gonna break in on me, they're gonna take a chance of meeting somebody. Anyway, but if I hear something, I will get my gun, and I will be ready, and I will walk around the house. Because I got kids in the house now. I'll walk around. My mama, she would hear something, she would get her shotgun, and she would go out with me and my brother at home. She would go out and she would walk around that house to make sure there was nothing out there, her and her shotgun. So I know where she's coming from. I will protect my children, but I'm on that phone. And so one night I called them over there. I'm like, somebody's outside my trailer. They come over there, and they concluded that it was a possum or a raccoon had got into my trash cans out beside my back porch. But you know what? I'll give these policemen in this town, that was still my town, somewhere different, but still my town. They have never, knock on wood, boy, I'm knocking on a lot of wood in this video. They have never chided me for calling them. They always tell me, you call us for anything. So I will give them mad props for not getting irritated at this lady who's home alone, other than a child in the house, let's say, when she thinks something's going on. So I'm happy about that in my town. So I said all of that to say thank you to the nutritionist for setting me on the right path. And now I've got to kind of veer off onto my path, not hers, because her path left me going no. So let me know what you think. You think it's the right thing? I think it's the right thing. If I said I'm going back to eating my junk food, then I would say y'all better tell me don't do that. But to not have popcorn, let's say like when I had spaghetti night before last, and I wanted popcorn, I already knew, I think I want some popcorn tonight while I'm watching my show. To have that little bit of no fat popcorn, no added oil, I would have had to leave out my spaghetti noodles and just have a bowl of sauce. No, that ain't happening. I would have to leave off my little biscuit bites. That ain't happening. I'm not going to have a bowl of sauce for supper. No. So that's where we stand. I have got to get this heater on. My windows froze up. I want to try to get a couple things made. I got a couple things I'm doing today for prep that I'll talk to you about them instead of adding it to this video. So I want to try to get some of that done before David gets up, because bless his heart, I run him out and make him watch TV in the bed, and he's done been in the bed all night. So he's good about it. So let me get the heat on, let me go to the store, and I just wanted to let you know, so in case you're like wondering, what am I doing, what's going on, that's what's going on. So okay, I done said it one time too many. Bye.